Little more than a month after Chevrolet celebrated the Corvette ZR1X's blistering Nürburgring lap time, Ford has flipped the script with a monster nobody expected. Instead of deploying the Mustang GTD as counterstrike, the manufacturer let loose the unhinged Transit SuperVan 4.2, which recorded a lap time that has inscribed itself immediately into Green Hell legend. The accomplishment not just embarrassed the ZR1X, but also left some established supercars in its wake. The inspiration for this ambitious project dates back to one of television's greatest motorized moments. Back in the 5th series of Top Gear, late Sabine Schmitz famously drove the late Jeremy Clarkson around the Nürburgring in a Jaguar S-Type diesel with the hope of breaking the unbreakable 10-minute barrier. Clarkson was not tall, but Schmitz boldly said she could learn the circuit in under 10 minutes in the passenger seat of a humble Ford Transit van. That promise became a reality in the 6th season, when she completed a scorching 10:08 lap in the driver's seat of a Transit, creating a legend that lasts close to 2 decades. Ford's SuperVan 4.2 is the ultimate homage to that time. Still, despite carrying the familiar Transit badge, this unhinged vehicle has little connection to the familiar urban delivery van. Built as a one-off show car, it is an electric beast of the future, with engineering more applicable to the domain of prototype racing than production vehicles. Behind the wheel of this record breaker was seasoned driver Romain Dumas, no stranger to squeezing the best out of Ford's new electric monsters. Dumas simply ruled the roost at the Goodwood Festival of Speed in the F-150 Lightning Supertruck, showing his mettle at coaxing outrageous performance from electric cars. At the Nürburgring, he did it again, pushing the SuperVan 4.2 to a blistering lap of 6:48.393. That time puts the van 9th out of all non-road legal prototypes ever timed at the ring. While it's behind the phenomenal Volkswagen ID.R, which lapped the circuit in a bewildering 6:05.336 in 2019 to set the outright EV lap record. The achievement is not to be scoffed at given the shape factor of the car and the pedigree it represents. The lap time also has special meaning when pitted directly against Chevrolet's top Corvette ZR1X, which had just posted 6:49.275. By beating it by nearly a full second, Ford stole bragging rights in an achievement previously considered impossible just weeks ago. The performance of the van also trumps the factory Corvette ZR1 at 650.763. Not to mention Ford's own Mustang GTD, which drew 652.072. The SuperVan 4.2 didn't stop there, shattering mythical benchmarks achieved by some of the most celebrated vehicles in supercar lore. Some of those trailing its era include the Lamborghini Huracan Performante, Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series, and even hybrid giant Porsche 918 Spyder. To see a van, one built for racing under the most extreme conditions no less, outrun such fancy schmancy nameplates is a testament to how far engineering creativity can be pushed when there are no manufacturer rules or feasibility constraints controlling it. Perspective, nonetheless, is extremely crucial. The SuperVan 4.2 is not a production vehicle, and never will be. Underneath its carbon fiber skin, it has a tri-motor electric setup capable of a mind-boggling 1,400 horsepower, figures unimaginable in a road car. The Nürburgring lap itself was performed on slippery race tires, full grip, but definitively over the edge of what a production car could ever be expected to use. This was a stunt made for a purpose, created as much for theatrics as engineering. Ford created the SuperVan 4.2 as a rolling proof piece, half engineering one-upmanship, half marketing brilliance. The piece's outrageous numbers and handling at the Nürburgring confirm something greater than Ford-Chevrolet rivalry. It demonstrates how electric performance platforms can be remodeled into bonkers experimental vehicles, with the flexibility and instant torque availability that is beyond combustion capability. The three-motor setup, capped with advanced torque vectoring and cutting-edge aerodynamics, demonstrates what EVs can do when let loose. Sure, the IDR remains the Nürburgring EV lap champion, but Ford's SuperVan demonstrates another philosophy. Take an odd platform, take it to absurd extremes, and prove that anything is possible. Its victory over the Corvette ZR1X is symbolic and not practical. No buyer will ever walk into a dealership and choose between a Corvette and a SuperVan. The vehicles live in entirely different realms. One, a production-spec performance coupe for serious high-end buyers. The other, a publicity vehicle based on a motorsport theme. And on paper, in the cold, hard numbers that lap times return, the van is the champion. And that alone makes news. The achievement also recalls Schmitz's daring assertion, all those nearly 2 decades ago, linking Ford's new engineering marvel back to a flippant but daring challenge hurled by television. What was an incredible claim at the time, that a Transit could win the Nürburgring in less than 10 minutes, is now something beyond dreams. Where a sledgehammer diesel van once ruled, our effort today is a space-age electrical giant shattering times held by the world's fastest supercars. For motorsport enthusiasts, it's not only about the figures, but the spectacle as well. Seeing a car resembling a van scorch the Nordschleife at speed defying even the world's finest supercars is the very essence of why fans love this circuit. It survives on uncertainty, on the continuous evolution of machinery, and on the dangerous experiments of manufacturers to leave an impression in its deadly asphalt. The SuperVan 4.2 is not going to sell units or set new benchmarks for the commercial market of vans, but has written itself into Nürburgring history. In the end, it is Ford's radical labor that is less about proving superiority over Chevrolet or Lamborghini, and more about proving open-armed creativity. The SuperVan 4.2 exists only because someone at Ford asked, "What if?" And that question created a one-off 1,400 horsepower electric van that has the ability to outrun some of the fastest cars ever produced. Its lap time around Nürburgring of 6 minutes, 48.393 seconds solidifies it as one of the most unbelievable cars to have ever set foot on the circuit. Not because it will shape production cars, but because it is an example of how far imagination and engineering can push when let loose.